Is starting the morning off with plenty of sun last night. Just an absolutely gorgeous, clear evening. For those of you that had the opportunity real late last night and early this morning, you saw the northern lights, just quite a show. And it does appear as though we're probably going to have a chance of seeing it again tonight, although we do anticipate some clouds moving in, especially as we move into the nighttime hours. And there will be a front approaching the state and pushing through. Before that, very summer-like as far as our temperatures are concerned. Right now, Matthew, what do we have on the thermometer?
Currently, over at the airport, it's mostly sunny at 63. Over in Midland, it's mostly sunny at 66. Here at Radio Center, it's mostly sunny at 61. We have southwest winds at 14 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.09, and it's falling.
At last look, Muskegon was reporting 70 degrees over on the west side of the state. It is definitely warmer than what it is here. That's indicative not only of the winds. They're having a little bit stronger winds over there, better than 25 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. Our wind speeds, as Matthew said, right around 14. We'll see some gusts close to 30 as we move through the afternoon hours. Breezy conditions, very slight chance of any precipitation later on before sunset. I think the best chance of seeing any precip will be after midnight, and we'll see that front move through overnight, and as a result, we'll drop down to right around 46 for a low. Usually with 80 degrees, you drop down to maybe 58 or 60. But obviously in this case, the front is going to be moving through. It is going to be changing the wind direction. We're going to see a northwest wind initially gusting to right around 30 miles per hour once that front moves through. So possibly tonight, after sunset, while you're outside maybe watching a football game, you might wind up getting chilled pretty quick because that front will move through. The other thing is very little, if any, chance of precipitation with this. It's a fairly dry system that is going to be moving through. Now, tomorrow, we're going to have some clouds. We are going to have some sun. Early, I think, about the morning hours, we'll have a chance of seeing some sun. But then, as we approach the evening hours tomorrow, we are going to see another system, and this one will be coming from the south. It'll be following the Ohio River Valley just to the north of the Ohio River. So you're looking at Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. The low pressure system will track over and eventually wind up over the Cleveland area by late Saturday night and early Sunday morning. As a result, we are going to have a threat of some shower activity, especially in the southern third of the lower peninsula later on tomorrow and tomorrow night. Our high tomorrow, 64, which is pretty close to average for this time of the year, and low temperature of 47. Normal is 63 in the afternoon and 43 at night. So a whole lot closer to average tomorrow. A lot more, though, in the way of cloud cover, more clouds, and especially in the evening hours when that chance of precipitation will be moving through. Again, I want to emphasize the best chance of seeing precipitation will be in the southern third of the lower peninsula. We could see a little bubble up action into the Great Lakes Bay area, but at this stage of the game, that's not very promising. What's more promising is during the day on Sunday. Sunday is going to be pretty much a cloudy day. It is going to be chilly, 58 for a high on Sunday. We'll have a northeast wind that will be running about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we're going to have a northeast breeze, and it will be gusting up to 25 miles per hour on Sunday. So that, the temperatures, the wind direction, and that chance of showers, Sunday is going to be a pretty chilly, damp day to have to do anything outside. The chances of precipitation will continue into the evening hours on Sunday. Again, all of that a function of that low pressure system, which is moving through Cleveland late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. It'll be with that counterclockwise circulation pushing precipitation and those winds back at us. And that'll spill over into the early morning hours on Monday. after a low on Sunday night of 38. It'll be a chilly, damp one. Monday, partly cloudy skies, still a chance of a shower or two, but it'll be early. 52 for a high on Monday, 32 for a low on Monday night. Once again, spotty shower activity will be around, but I'm looking at a whole lot more toward the idea of partly cloudy to mostly clear on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday right now looks to be partly to mostly sunny all 3 days. 52 for a high on Tuesday, 60 for a high on Wednesday, and 65 for a high on Thursday. Long range to take us all the way through the 24th of the month, below normal on the precipitation, above normal on the temperatures. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew, who do we have standing by?
Up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West.
But before we get to him, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. You know, they are your Dairyland seed dealer, carrying a full line of corn and Enlist soybean seed, proven weed control designed to get you a better harvest. Right now, they've got an industry-leading 14% cash discount until the end of the month, and a good supply across all Dairyland varieties, including the all-new 4-seed and PowerCore Enlist traded corn hybrids. Just get a hold of Justin Varner for more information. Dairyland Seed. We've got seed with your name on it. From your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, where serving you is their business. We say good morning to
Mr. Cody Harris.
Cody Harris. Cody, good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How you guys doing today?
How about that introduction, huh?
That'll work. I'll take it.
Yeah. Now, you got the prices to go with it. I understand we got a government report coming out or something here.
Yeah, we got the October WASDE USDA report coming out at noon our time. And as we sit right now, I say we got the true definition of a mixed bag. We got wheat seems to be down this morning. Corn is unchanged at the moment, and soybeans are up. So we're kind of all across the board as these traders try to figure out what this report's going to be. I think you got a little bit of position squaring going on right now, maybe a little profit taking in wheat. That's why we're seeing that down, because most of the action, it seems like, for this report's definitely going to be in corn and soybeans. But looking at it, I guess as we sit right now, cash wheat's down 2 at the moment, 587 on the white, 512 on the red. New crop 2025 wheat, that's down 2 as well. 642 on the white, 557 on the red. Looking over at cash and new crop corn, like I said, that's unchanged at 344. And then cash and new crop soybeans are up 8 at 938.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the soybean prices, and it is good to see. By the looks of it, we've got a pretty good soybean crop out there. Maybe some guys can make a little money, huh?
Yeah, that's what it seems. It definitely seems there's a little bit of strength in soybeans right now, especially as I'm doing a little deep dive on some info. I think in at least the largest section of a lot of the focus for soybeans right now is on Brazil planting. They've been extremely dry the last month or so, and I think they're at the slowest soybean planting pace in about 9 years. So I think that's where you're seeing a little bit of strength right now. Like you said, with the quality of our beans that we've been seeing coming off here for the last couple of weeks, should be some opportunities there for sure to make some money.
One thing that we usually don't talk a lot about, but had a chance to talk to Joe Kramer with the Bean Commission the other day. Dry beans, it seems like most of everything that I've heard about is indicating that our dry bean crop is not going to be record breaking, but pretty close. I was just kind of curious, as an elevator star of the West, have you guys had much with splits or quality issues at all with some of the dry beans?
I know I don't deal with that directly, but I do get a couple updates here from our dry bean division. I know early in the year, or early in the harvest season, I know there was a lot of beans that would come in pretty dry, and we were seeing some splits and uh, kind of, I guess, more regularly than we were expecting to. As we kind of got farther into the harvest, maybe some of the later planted and later harvested dry beans got maybe a little better as far as that's concerned. But like you said, you kind of hit it right on the head. I don't think we're going to shatter any records, but kind of yield wise are pretty good across the board from what we were seeing on kind of all of our navies, blacks, pintos, small reds, and all our dry beans. It seemed like it was pretty, I would say, a good harvest season so far. But yeah, there was a little bit of spots here and there, especially for some dry beans that were just, split and cracked seed coats is what it seemed like.
Let's go to corn here real quick, Cody. Where are you going to put it all?
That is the magical question. I've got to ask that and talk to guys for the last couple of weeks on that, on where that's going, because I've been even driving around and talking to a bunch of guys, and this may be one of the better crops that we've seen in a long time. And that's definitely going to be the question moving forward, is where to move this corn. So you're starting to see a lot of guys maybe, or some elevators and even some shippers moving a little more corn right now than they have in years past, just trying to figure out where to put it. And on the plus side, our demand in corn has kind of picked up recently with the dryness over in the Black Sea region and a little bit of dryness down in South America. So as far as the U.S. demand side, that's picked up, and hopefully that'll be picked up just enough to kind of get us along this big corn crop.
Oh, it is something else. And of course, it's all coming off really fast.
Oh yeah, it seems like there's gonna be no break between soybeans and corn right now. So we got guys who just finished up beans, and the next day they got the corn headers on and rocking and rolling in corn. That's kind of all across the countryside from everyone I've talked to. So there's gonna be no delay there, especially with the outlook. I think I looked at the 14-day outlook. There's not especially for most of the Corn Belt. We might get a little bit of splash here later in the week, but for most of the Corn Belt, it's pretty wide open for harvest. So, I mean, it's going to be a pretty quick harvest right now, or it's going to advance quickly. I know that.
I know some of the forecasters had indicated to me that we were looking at anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch on Sunday, sometime during the day on Sunday night, and real early Monday morning. We could sure use it. And I guess if I put in my request, that's the way I'd take a rain shower, anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4. I don't want more than an inch splasher anytime soon.
I would agree with that, especially with how dry we've been. Just a little bit here and there would definitely do us wonders, especially being a wheat guy sitting here at Star of the West. That would do good for the planted wheat as well. So I'm right there with you, Terry.
Oh, you brought up the wheat. I have seen some absolutely gorgeous fields out there.
I don't want to say it too loud. I'm knocking on wood as much as I can right now, but the wheat that I've seen planted, I mean, it looks, like you said, it looks beautiful right now. We're getting some extremely good fall growth. The weather's been maybe, like I said, maybe a little dry, but from what I'm seeing, everything looks beautiful. If we can continue this for the rest of the planting season, it'd be great.
Oh, it sure would. You have a nice weekend, Cody. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
You bet. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. As far as our Chicago Board of Trade is concerned, Doug Klein is off today. Corn right now, the December contract is at 418.5. That is now unchanged. The March contract is 435 3/4. That's down about a half. Soybeans, November, 1022 1/4. That's up 7.5. The January contract has just changed. Now that's up 7. That would make it 1038.5. Wheat, December, currently at 599 1/4. That is down 4.5. The March contract is at just changing 622 even. That is down 4.5 as well. Crude oil is right now, November contract 75.35. That is down a dime. The market report brought to you by the folks at Thumb Bank, making agricultural loans since 1895. Farming, obviously, plenty of challenges out there that are very demanding, and the experts at Thumb Bank help you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. They've got locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust, equal opportunity lender, and member FDIC. Coming up next, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Insurance Agency.
Well, before we get to Craig, let's take a break.
The versatile Kubota B-Series is a do-it-all tractor. Run powerful attachments that can be easily switched out. It features a hydrostatic transmission and is simple to maintain. The Kubota B-Series. It makes the hard work look easy. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
Risk management, a lot of folks are taking advantage of it because you can take advantage of the good things and protect yourself against the bad. When you work with the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency and you work with them with their risk management policy. Remember, they are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. Their agents can be reached directly on their cell for questions or emergencies. The office number, you can try that too, 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We say good morning to Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, let's talk a little bit about truck drivers today.
Right, Terry. Good morning. There's a lot of trucks on the road right now, whether it be with corn, beans, sugar beets, fertilizer, all that stuff's moving around right now. If you've got some temporary folks driving for you, just make sure that you've looked at their driver's license and make sure they have a valid one. We've had a few folks tripped up by that over the years. And, the other question we get a lot this time of year is, do I need to call my insurance and add these drivers to my policy? Most insurance companies don't require that, especially if they're only driving for maybe during beet harvest or, a couple weeks, that kind of thing. If they're driving more regularly, then yes, you do want to add them. But if it's just for harvest, you'll be all right.
The other thing, obviously, that we have to take a look at is the vehicle itself, making sure that some of these drivers are familiar with the vehicle.
Well, that's true. If you've gotten some different equipment from the last year or different drivers, make sure they're familiar with everything. They know where all the safety features are and all the safety equipment if they need it. That's a good point. Make sure everybody's familiar with everything. And even if it's a truck you've driven for the last 10 years, you might want to just make sure everything's where you remember it was.
Might be a good idea to take a trip around the field, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I think so. Just real quick, kind of off the subject, but have we had any more reports of any equipment fires?
None that I've been aware of. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Because, it's we have these bearings and a lot of things that get overheated. And right now, they're even telling folks if you are driving a vehicle into the field and it's got a muffler system down there, that you need to be really careful. And we're not just talking wheat stubble or something like that. We're talking corn.
Yeah, that's a good point, Terry. Normally we do talk about that during wheat harvest, but you're right. It's awful dry out there. So if you can leave the vehicle on the side of the road, that's probably a better place for it.
You take care, Craig. Have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again next, okay?
All right. Thanks, Terry. You too.
You bet. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Coming up next, who have we got, Matthew?
Up next, we have Chuck Serbinsky from Maple Hill.
But first, this.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. How easily soil gets moved with a 1 Series tractor. Or how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
You know, before you know it, we are going to have to protect some of that tender foliage out there, especially some of the new trees and shrubs that we might have put in this past summer. Along with us, Chuck Servinski from Maple Hill Nursery in Midland. How about some tips here, Chuck?
Hey, a few things that are key. Make sure that going into the winter season, the soil is moist. We've had extremely dry conditions, and so extra watering is definitely a must right now. And moist soils are going to hold a lot more heat than dry soils, and they're really less subject to frost penetration this winter. And it will also result in better root growth. And it never hurts to add an additional layer of mulch around trees and shrubs, and that's going to help prevent root injury and also frost penetration.
You know, winter, I was going to say
go
winter sun and wind really seems to suck the moisture out of these plants, doesn't it?
It does, especially Alberta spruce, arborvitae, boxwood, and rhododendron, just to name a few. And what happens is the sides of those plants get exposed to wind, and also the sides most exposed to the sun are most subject most of the time to winter injury. A layer of burlap, if you can get that placed over the plants in late November, early December, is going to create a wind screen to help protect them. And you can really leave the burlap in place until late February, early March, and not hurt anything.
And thin barked trees?
Definitely. What happens with that is on a cold, sunny winter day, bark on young trees heats up during the day to the point that growth activity actually can start to resume a little bit. And then when the temperature of that bark drops off, when the sun goes down rapidly, the quick drop in temperature kills that active tissue that might have started growing. So to prevent sun scald, you're going to want to wrap that tree with a tree wrap or use a plastic tree guard. And what happens is that will reflect the sun and keep the bark at a more constant temperature so it's not getting hot or cold. And you're going to want to put the tree wrap on any time now and take it off, maybe the first or second week of March.
Chuck Servinski, always good to talk. You take care. Have a nice weekend over at Maple Hill. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Talk to you next Wednesday.
All righty. We'll be right back.
Soil prep for next year begins as soon as the harvest is over. Don't miss out on nutrients you can return to your soil. Applying a Dairy Dew compost blend accelerates the conversion of crop stubble into next year's plant food. That remaining plant material is full of nutrients that you want to return to the soil. Dairy Dew blends from Morgan Composting, like K2, Gypsum Plus, and Layer Ash Blend with Gypsum, helps with decomposition, releasing those nutrients for next year's crops while also adding good biology and other missing nutrients to your soil. Like a lot of things right now, supplies are limited, so contact Morgan Composting to place your order for fall and lock in your price now. Crops don't wait. The seasons don't wait. You shouldn't wait. Address soil health now for better yields next year. Not sure which is the best Dairy Dew compost blend for your fields? Contact a soil health expert at Morgan Composting for a consultation and soil testing. Call today or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City at 602 North Euclid Avenue.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News